Tonight, all eyes are on Stamford Bridge for a massive Champions League night. Chelsea are hosting the reigning champions, Paris Saint-Germain, in the second leg of their knockout tie. The Blues face a truly monumental task. They are coming into this game after a very difficult 5-2 loss in Paris. This means they need to win by at least 3 goals just to have a chance of staying in the competition. It's a huge challenge against one of the best teams in Europe, but in football, you just never know. The atmosphere under the lights at the bridge will be electric, and the home fans will be hoping for a miracle. And then the first match in Paris was a story of what could have been for Chelsea. They were right in the game, holding their own against PSG, and were level at 2-2. It looked like they might even pull off a surprise result away from home. But then disaster struck in the final 20 minutes of the match. The team completely collapsed, conceding 3 quick goals that changed the entire feel of this tie. A key moment was a costly mistake from goalkeeper Philip Jurgensen, which really seemed to deflate the team. Those late goals turned a respectable performance into a very heavy defeat. Now, Chelsea have to do something that is incredibly rare in the history of the Champions League. Overturning a 3-goal deficit from the first leg is a feat that has only been achieved 4 times before in this entire competition. The last time a team managed to knock out the defending champions from this position was way back in the 2003 to 2004 season. That was when Deportivo La Coruña famously came back against AC Milan. So history is certainly not on Chelsea's side, which just shows how big the challenge ahead of them really is tonight. And the players will know the history, but they have to put it out of their minds. The only thing that matters is what happens on the pitch over the next 90 minutes. They need to score early to build momentum and get the crowd believing. If they can get the first goal, the pressure will start to shift onto PSG. The French champions will feel confident with their big lead, but an early Chelsea goal could plant a seed of doubt. It's all about belief. And the Chelsea manager will have been telling his players that this is not an impossible task, even if it feels like one right now. Making Chelsea's difficult job even harder is their long list of injuries. The team has been hit hard in recent weeks, and some key players will be missing tonight. The biggest blow is the absence of captain Reece James, who injured his hamstring again in the weekend's loss to Newcastle. His leadership and quality on the right side will be a massive loss. He is joined on the sidelines by Levi Colwill, Jamie Byner-Gittens and Estevan William, who are all out with injuries. To make matters worse, goalkeeper Philip Jurgensen is also struggling with a groin issue, which is a real concern after the first leg. Despite the many absences, there is some positive news for the Blues. Goalkeeper Robert Sanchez is expected to be fit and will likely start in goal, which will hopefully bring some stability to the defence. Another big boost is the return of Pedro Neto. He missed the weekend game due to a suspension, but is available for this European clash. He is expected to go straight back into the starting lineup and will provide some much-needed speed and creativity in attack. Chelsea will need all the attacking help they can get if they are to score the goals they need to turn this around. If Chelsea are going to pull off a miracle, one player will be absolutely central to their hopes: Enzo Fernandez. The Argentine midfielder was one of the few bright spots in the first leg, where he both scored a goal and provided an assist. He is the engine of this Chelsea team in the Champions League. He has created the most chances and made the most line-breaking passes for the side in the competition this season. Everything good that Chelsea does seems to go through him, and he will need to be at his very best tonight, controlling the tempo and creating opportunities for the forwards. The team's recent form is also a major worry. After the heavy defeat in Paris, they followed it up with a disappointing 1-0 loss at home to Newcastle United. This means they come into this huge game having lost 2 matches in a row. They also haven't won a game at Stamford Bridge since the end of January, which is not the kind of form you want when you need to produce a historic comeback. The players will have to dig deep and find a level of performance that they haven't shown in recent weeks if they are to stand any chance against PSG. While Chelsea are dealing with injuries and poor form, it's a very different story for Paris Saint-Germain. The French champions arrive in London in a very strong position. Their manager, Enrique, has a nearly full-strength squad to choose from for this crucial second leg. The only notable players missing are Fabian Ruiz and Quentin Jantu, but the core of their team is fit and available. This is a huge advantage for PSG, as it means they can field their strongest possible side without having to worry about patching up holes in their lineup. They are confident and have every reason to be. Adding to their advantage, PSG are also fully rested. Their league match that was scheduled for the weekend was postponed. This gave their players extra time to recover and prepare specifically for this trip to London. Chelsea, on the other hand, had to play a tough Premier League game against Newcastle. This extra rest could make a big difference, especially in the later stages of the match. PSG's players will be fresher and should have more energy, which could be crucial if the game becomes a high-intensity battle. They have prepared perfectly for this encounter. PSG's attack is filled with incredible talent, and they have players who are in sensational form right now. One of their main threats is the winger Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. He has been on fire in the Champions League this season, averaging either a goal or an assist every 63 minutes. He is a constant danger for any defense. Another player Chelsea will need to watch closely is the midfielder Vitinha. He has a knack for scoring against English teams and has found the net in his last 3 games against them. With attackers like Ousmane Dembélé and Bradley Barcola also in the mix, PSG has the firepower to cause problems for any team. Furthermore, PSG have been fantastic on the road this season, especially when it comes to scoring goals. They have a brilliant away record and have scored at least 2 goals in 4 of their last 5 matches away from home. This shows that they don't just sit back and defend their lead when they travel. They actively look to attack and score, which could be very bad news for Chelsea. If PSG managed to score just 1 away goal tonight, Chelsea would then need to score 5 to win the tie. This attacking mindset makes PSG even more dangerous opponents. So the stage is set for what could be an unforgettable night of Champions League football. The big question on everyone's mind is a simple one. Can Chelsea do it? Can they defy the odds, overturn a 3-goal deficit, and produce one of the greatest comebacks in the competition's history? They will have the passionate support of their home crowd, who will create an intimidating atmosphere for the visiting PSG team. The players will need to feed off that energy from the very first whistle and play with the kind of courage and determination that makes European nights at Stamford Bridge so special. For Chelsea to have any chance, they must be perfect. They cannot afford to make any defensive mistakes like the ones that cost them so dearly in Paris. They need to be clinical in front of goal and take every single opportunity that comes their way. Players like Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto will have to deliver world-class performances and inspire the players around them. It is a task that seems almost impossible on paper, but football has a wonderful habit of throwing up incredible surprises when you least expect them. The spirit of a comeback is a powerful thing. On the other side, Paris Saint-Germain come into this match as the clear favourites to advance to the next round. They have a comfortable lead, a healthier and more rested squad, and an attack that can score goals at will. Their manager, Enrique, is very experienced and will have his team well prepared to handle the early pressure from Chelsea. PSG know that an away goal would all but end the tie, so they will likely look to hit Chelsea on the counter-attack as the home side pushes forward in search of goals. They are in complete control of their own destiny. Ultimately, we are poised for a fascinating clash of styles and circumstances. Will it be a historic night of glory for Chelsea, a famous comeback that will be talked about for years to come? Or will PSG prove to be too strong, too clinical, and too professional as they continue their journey to defend their Champions League crown? The first goal will be absolutely crucial. Whatever happens, it promises to be a dramatic and emotional evening at Stamford Bridge. We just have to wait and see which team will rise to the occasion.